Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Tom Sherry, in for Mark Hanran.
And I'm Whitney Ward. Well, the family of Makayla Young finally got a small sense of closure today. This morning, a judge sentenced Anthony Fuerte to 30 years in prison after he admitted to killing the 24-year-old last year in a motel room.
KREM 2's Amanda Rowley shares the heartbreaking remarks her family gave in court today.
Well, the judge called Makayla Young's death and the situation surrounding it horrifying. In court today, her family shared how greatly she will be missed and begged the judge to give Anthony Fuerte a harsh sentence.
Please be seated. Court is in session.
This hearing today may just be another sentencing for the court, but for the family of Makayla Young, it's the final step in their fight for her justice.
Now we can work on grieving instead of fighting.
As a parent, you never imagine outliving your child. Today, Michael and Christy Young told the judge they will now spend the rest of their days living the unimaginable.
The last Father's Day card I received from Makayla said, "Daddy, you carried me my whole life. When you were old and can't walk, I'll be there to carry you. You stole Makayla's physical future of carrying me. My faith is Makayla is carrying me right now and always."
I will never celebrate another birthday with Makayla. She will be forever 24. I will never get to see her achieve her dreams and goals. I will never get to see her meet a nice man. I will not attend her wedding. I will never know her children.
Last month, Anthony Fuerte admitted to killing Makayla while in a North Spokane motel room. The two had been in a romantic relationship at the time. Court documents say Makayla feared he might kill her after suspecting she had set him up to get arrested. In the courtroom this morning, Makayla's family sobbed softly for the young woman who meant so much to them.
Your Honor, she was everything to me. When I miss her, I like to picture her dancing silly in our living room, and me and my siblings laughing hysterically, or her coming and sitting at the end of my bed, asking me to do her makeup.
Fuerte's attorney gave a presentation to the judge explaining his difficult childhood. His mother and stepfather were drug addicts who had a history of domestic violence. The attorney claimed both Fuerte and Makayla used drugs the night of her death.
Anthony is not here to make any excuses. But the question people keep asking is why? Why did this happen? It happened because of drugs. Methamphetamine and heroin specifically.
Fuerte kept his head down most of the hearing, but before losing his freedom for the next 30 years, he apologized.
"I'm sorry for the hurt and the pain that I've caused. As I look at the pictures and the shirts that you wear, I can imagine the pain that you feel. And I know sorry is not enough. I was just on drugs, and I never imagined I could have done something like this. I'm sorry for taking her away from you."
Just another sentencing comes to a close. Makayla's family will now look ahead to find healing and how to cope with outliving a daughter, sister, aunt, and friend. Makayla's family told me this afternoon they are disappointed that Fuerte was only sentenced to 30 years in prison, and they wish prosecutors would have done more. Now, her sister Emily says they want to create a law in Makayla's name to make a difference in the criminal justice system. Reporting from the Spokane County Courthouse, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Larry used to hate it when people said, "I'm sorry." He said, instead of saying, "I'm sorry," live your life in a way where you don't have to say, "I'm sorry." But that's all I can say, even though it's wholly inadequate. All I can say is, I'm so sorry.
Lori Eisenberg received a life sentence today in the 2018 murder of her husband, Larry. She won't be eligible for parole for 30 years, including time served, meaning she will be in her late 90s by the earliest possible date that she could be released.
Now, during her sentencing earlier today, family members spoke about Larry as a loving father and grandfather. Our Ian Smay was at that sentencing hearing today. He has more now on what family members said before Lori was sentenced. Ian?
4 of Larry Eisenberg's children and stepchildren spoke before Judge Scott Wayman today about the pain of losing their father at the hands of their mother, Lori. We also finally heard from Lori about the events leading up to her husband's death on Lake Coeur d'Alene, before Judge Wayman handed down a sentence that will likely see her die in prison. It was an emotional morning inside Courtroom 1 at the Kootenai County District Courthouse on Monday.
The manner in which I lost my father, Larry Eisenberg, has left a hole in my soul that I will never be able to fill.
Children and stepchildren of Larry Eisenberg spoke as Judge Scott Wayman considered how long of a sentence to give Larry's wife Lori in his 2018 murder. Lori had entered an Alford plea, meaning she wasn't admitting guilt, but agreeing that the state had enough evidence to prove her guilty on a charge of second-degree murder. The family was not satisfied with the plea, calling it a slap in the face. Prosecutors say Eisenberg gave Larry a drink containing a lethal amount of Benadryl while they were on Lake Coeur d'Alene on February 13, 2018. They said the motive was to kill him before he could find out about Lori's embezzlement. Lori is currently serving time for stealing more than $500,000 from the North Idaho Housing Coalition.
I'm so sorry for everything I did. Starting with the embezzlement that resulted in the lies, deceit, and ultimate betrayal of the love and the trust of the people I love, especially Larry.
Lori was linked to his death after detectives discovered she had been searching the internet for information on drownings, including in Florida, where they had just visited on a vacation.
I want to state emphatically that I am responsible for Larry's death. Absolutely.
Eisenberg claimed she brought a drink with a large amount of Benadryl on the boat, intending to drink it herself. But somehow, Larry drank it. We don't know how he ended up in the water. Search crews found his body 2 weeks later. An autopsy report revealed he had died due to an overdose of Benadryl. In court, the family described Larry as a loving family man.
He was an incredible person. He was extremely hardworking and had an insatiable thirst for knowledge. He actively sought opportunities to learn something new every day, and he loved sharing that knowledge by teaching others and encouraging them to learn and grow too.
In all, today's hearing took a little less than 3 hours before Eisenberg was sentenced, and Eisenberg herself spoke for about 45 minutes. She talked about that embezzlement and the emotions that her family has gone through in the past few years. And the judge also said that he believes that Eisenberg actually does think that she did not intend to kill her husband, but that her version of events don't line up with the facts of the case. In Coeur d'Alene, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
Wow. A north-south freeway was first proposed in Spokane back in the 1940s, and completion of the project is still years away. But we are finally seeing some physical construction going on up in northeast Spokane. Still, the pandemic has brought on some delays.
Our agency was on furloughs. We were restricted on how much we could contract for external engineering work. We had people who were sick with COVID who are out.
So what does the timeline look like now, and how much money did the legislature earmark this year to help finish the job? Our political reporter Casey Decker will have those answers for you in a special Boomtown report that will be tomorrow night on KREM 2 News at 6.
And also coming up tonight at 6, tracking robocalls. More than 2 million robocalls come into Washington every single day. But where do they come from? Turns out some are coming from behind bars right here in the U.S.
I'm not aware of that. I mean, if you give us any instances, like I said, we do background checks on people.
The unlikely culprits behind some of the scams that are targeting your money. Make sure and join us for a special report tonight on KREM 2 News at 6. All right, let's talk about weather. A very gray, very cloudy day. We did have some rain throughout the last couple of days, throughout the weekend. It was nice. We know we needed it, right?
We needed it in a big way. We're going to get more rain and thunderstorms tomorrow on Tuesday, and then again probably on Friday. But as we head into the long weekend, my gosh, it is going to be amazing. And the wind is blowing, as you can see. 30-mile-an-hour winds taking place out at Spokane Airport. When you look at the current temperature, we're at 69 degrees, and you can see the cloudy skies that are across the area right now. Satellite and radar picture shows we've got rain in northeastern Spokane and across the panhandle of Idaho. Close-up view shows some pretty heavy rain up around the Diamond Lake area, just a little bit south of Newport and in Pend Oreille County. So again, tracking some very strong showers just to the north now of Spokane County, headed from west to east. We'll look for mostly cloudy skies tonight with an overnight low of 48, 66 the expected high on Tuesday. Look at your Memorial Day weekend, 70 on Saturday, temperatures hitting 79 on Sunday, and we could get into the low 80s on Monday with plenty of sunshine. So nice to get this rain before we get into well above average temperatures for part of your 3-day weekend.
Yeah, happy to take the rain now as long as it doesn't fall over the Memorial Day weekend.
You bet.
Tom, thank you. Well, the Creme Cares diaper drive wrapped up officially on Mother's Day, but we are just now getting the final numbers, and man, are they good. Coming up after the break, our Laura Papetti has an update for you. We'll be right back.